that this is actually an attempt on Donald Trump's life. Secret Service returned fire.
Tim Pool and the entire internet are in absolute frenzy right now as there was another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. This is getting pretty wild, and in my opinion, it's probably just going to continue to ramp up until the election actually comes, and possibly even ramp up afterwards, depending on who wins this next election. Let's get into this clip here of Tim Pool on Timcast Live, breaking down and reacting to the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. He's absolutely shredding the leftists out there. And I mean, we already know, I'm sure for a fact they're going to try to spin this and say it was a Republican registered voter or something like that, and it was a Republican trying to assassinate the Republican candidate. I mean, we all know what's really going on here. Let's get into this clip here from Tim Pool breaking down the assassination attempt on Donald Trump again.
Tuning in, we got breaking report that there was another attempt on Donald Trump's life. So, of course, as soon as I see this breaking, I run outside. So, all right, let's start from the beginning, because I'm standing out here in the middle of nowhere to try and give you this quick update for those that are tuning in. I'm going to start walking, actually, to get away from this driving area. Donald Trump's golfing. There were shots fired. We don't know exactly what happened. They initially reported that it may be an attempt on Trump's life. They then quickly came back and said this is not an attempt on Donald Trump's life. This was two individuals, unrelated, who were opening fire on each other. They said they found a backpack with an assault weapon, which means nothing, but may have been an AK or a long rifle. Now it's coming out through Brian Stelter on CNN. Actually, he's reporting what CNN has picked up, that this is actually an attempt on Donald Trump's life. Secret Service returned fire. So I'm trying to walk away from this parking area and I don't want to stand in the way of cars, but I wanted to make sure I get something up on YouTube, because I've got the tweets up. People are asking, you know, the last time something like this happened, people said they asked me to get a video up as quick as I can. So I'm going to go through some tweets for you guys of the current breaking news, just so I can have this for you on YouTube. And then,
before we get all the information, and by the time I post this, we might have more information, but I'm sure it's not going to be as clear as to what exactly happened for the next couple of days. Before we get all the information, let me know in the comments, what do you think was the motive of the shoot? Like, number one, what was the actual motive? Like, were they a Republican? Were they a Democrat? Whatever. And then number two, how do you think the media is going to spin this one? Because they always have a spin. They're always a way to make it the right wing's problem. They're always going to turn it into, oh, this is a gun control problem, you know. And obviously the response to that whole situation is, well, if we don't want people to murder, and making guns illegal will take away people's ability to get guns. Why don't we just make murder illegal? That will take away people's ability to murder, right? Like, that's such a stupid argument. But anyway, let's get back to what Tim Pool has to say. I am very curious to see what you guys have to say about, number one, the motive of the shooter, and number two, what do you think the shooter motive is going to be in the actual, you know, with the woke media out there? How are they going to spin it?
And try and get something up on Instagram as well. I'm just going to sit down over here so I can pull up X. I'm at a mall, so not the best place, but I can hop over right here, take a seat, and let's see if we can get the chat going. YouTube's forcing me to do this orientation. It sucks, but I got this report here. We got Brian Stelter. Look at me, I'm doing a report here on the ground. We've got Brian Stelter, says, Kristen H. CNN, officials believe the shots fired at Trump were intended for former President Donald Trump, according to sources familiar. The Secret Service identified the direction of the shots and returned fire at that gunman who fled. Witnesses were able to provide a description of an individual and a vehicle. We are told that a vehicle that is close to that description has been stopped. All this info is preliminary, but in the area of the shooting, sources say they recovered a backpack and a semi-automatic rifle and a GoPro camera. The camera suggests the individual may have wanted to record himself in the first person. So I've actually, let me try and, I'm going to pull up your guys' chat here. We'll just
yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and say it now. There's nobody who is trying to record themselves commit a shooting in the first person that is just having a dispute with some random guy with like a road rage incident. Like, that's not happening. This is going to be something that was planned out. And also, another thing that's been coming out, I don't know if Tim Pool is actually going to talk about it, but another thing that has come out since the second Trump assassination is that his golf schedule was not public. It was not open to the public when Donald Trump would be golfing. How did this person know that he would be golfing? Number one, that's very scary, that there's probably a mole within Donald Trump's camp that is releasing this information. And also, how does the person get that close with a backpack and a semi-automatic rifle? How does he get that close to the president when there's Secret Service around? How does that even happen? How does he get close enough to where he feels comfortable with letting shots off? Unless maybe he didn't get that close, and maybe the Secret Service did spot him decently far away and they opened fire on him. That could possibly be the case. We don't know. Once again, this is all like, a lot of this is speculation. I don't think it's speculation that this was an attempt on Trump's life. I think that seems to be highly reported even by woke news. So yeah, let's get back to what Tim Pool has to say.
Try and I'll pull up more information as I go. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I don't know how much time I have. I can sit out here in this parking lot. But I'll just try and give you the basic update and information on this. So I'll try and get you going for about 10 minutes. And I'm trying to pull up the chat here now so we can look at your super chats and questions, and using my second work phone. Looks like we got it. YouTube's making me do this orientation. This sucks. Is there even a chat? I don't think there's even a chat, is there? How do I change that? Is that my fault? Maybe there's a setting to turn chat on? I have no idea, guys. This is frustrating. How do I do this? I guess I can't, but I can grab some more tweets. I just want to make sure I had this up on YouTube. That's about it. That's the breaking news update. I'm going to see what other information is coming right now, and we'll keep this up for a few minutes, and then I will be updating. Follow me on X @Timcast. I will have updates. Let's see. Gunshots were heard outside the property.
If you enjoy content like this, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really does help me out a ton. Let's get back to the video.
Secret Service returned fire. This is crazy. Now it's crazy because I'm seeing people. So when the shots were first heard, Marjorie Taylor Greene, of course, immediately came out saying this may be an attempt on Trump, and a ton of people on the left were just coming out saying stop, no, that's wrong. And now now it's looking like that may be the case. We got Redhead Libertarian saying whether those shots were intended for Trump or not, it looks like it could have been another massive security breach, which is true. There's reports that it was an AK-7 that may have been recovered. Don Jr. is saying shots fired, AK-47 discovered. This is massive. Trump is safe, of course. He's absolutely safe. We got a couple other updates I can give you too while we're here. Fascinatingly, we have a video from Chris Rufo alleging it shows a man filming a backyard with a cat being roasted on a grill. I can't believe this is something I'm also reporting as we're out here. A cat being roasted on a grill. Yep, a couple of them. And he's saying that he filmed it in Dayton, which is just right. It's right next to Springfield, Ohio. And he said it was from I think a year ago when he was going to pick up his kid or something. So we have that video, and Rufo says that.
Yeah, but they're just gonna keep saying that those videos are fake and it's not actually happening. I don't know, man. Like, regardless of if they're happening or not and how frequently they're happening, there's an obvious immigration problem happening in the United States. But what I wanted to make this video about is the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. This is getting absolutely wild. At what point do you stop casually taking golf trips? I don't think Donald Trump will ever stop. I don't think he's the kind of person to just hide inside of his house. But that just, like, I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like a life. And maybe they're trying to make it like this. They're trying to make it hard for him to enjoy life, and they're trying to make people like me look at that and say, it seems like such a miserable life. Like, now you're worried about getting assassinated everywhere you go. You can't even play golf on your own golf course without an assassination attempt. You know, it's just seems like such a miserable life to live, and that's probably what they're trying to make it like. They're trying to say, if you guys challenge the establishment like Donald Trump has, it's going to be a hard life to live. You're going to be, there's going to be assassination attempts on you every couple months. And, maybe that's what they're trying to do. But at the same time, like, everybody's like, Donald Trump is a human, right? Like, I know everybody's going to expect him, especially after the first one, whenever he stood up and he said, fight, fight, fight. Everybody's going to expect him to just be like this like bulletproof guy. When there's multiple assassination attempts on you, I don't care who you are, it is going to change your perspective a little bit and think like, I could have lost my life twice now, lucked out twice now, 2 different assassination attempts on Donald Trump. At what point do I start taking this a bit more seriously and not necessarily living scared, but, just being more cautious and realizing not only am I like the president of the United States, but whenever stuff like that happens to you, you start to think about more like relationships and family and stuff like that. Not only am I trying to run for president, but I'm also trying to be like a father, a grandfather, all that stuff, and going out in public and being a bit, I don't even think it's not reckless, but whenever there's people trying to assassinate you everywhere you go, it is kind of reckless to just go willy-nilly outside. That's just the reality of the thing. And it's like, you got to think about the other people who are involved in your life too. Like, at what point did the family members of Donald Trump start to say, we either, number one, have to have like a perimeter set up everywhere you go. Whenever it's time to golf, you need you know, I don't even know how far it would be, like a 10,000 foot perimeter set up around wherever you're going. Or number two, you need to stop going golf casually. Like, it needs to just stop. And either way, it's like, it's such a shitty way to live. Like I said, maybe that's the way that they want it to be, though. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about this second assassination attempt on Donald Trump? And what do you think about what Tim Pool said here on Timcast about the whole thing, reading out some tweets from even woke media reporting that this was actually an attempt on Trump's life? Let me know in the comments, what are you thinking about this whole Tim Pool reacting to the second assassination attempt on Donald Trump in the comments?